Alright, welcome. In this video we'll be attempting to beat Rykard with his own weapons. He has a sword and a spell to offer us. We're attempting the challenge in New Game Plus 2 simply because that's what we need in order to acquire the weapons. Normally Rykard is a gimmick boss, meaning that we will want to use a special weapon to kill him. But let's see how we fare without using the gimmick weapon at all. First let's take a look at what we've got. On our main hand we have Blasphemy's blade. The blade has a neat little side effect. It heals the user for every enemy killed. It even works when the killing is not done by the blade. It also deals bonus fire damage. Utilizing the blade we can also shoot lava. We will later discover just how much Rykard loves lava. We will also use Renala's stuff again, because we need to cast Rykard's answer. It's a fire spell that shoots out an exploding skull. Alright, let's take this show on the road. Previously we left off in Khalid, but now we're seeking Volcano Manor. We can begin this journey at Altus Plateau, which we unlocked in the previous video. First things first, let's try out our weapons. And what better way to do it than punch around these girty boys. The weapons feel really fun to use. The sword is fast and the effects are really nice. We also get to fight the dragon, but just for a moment, because the actual cover runs away. Flies away. Anyway. We meet up with Raya again, which is important because she can take us straight to where we want to go. This is a handy shortcut. Convenient. Okay, let's start poking around. Our first notable enemy here is this Blair Witch enthusiast. It's a bloodhound knight surrounded by bloodstains. Let's see how this fight goes for us. I love the effect of fire skills here as they lit up the whole room. And we easily bring the fight to a draw. I then return and try a different strategy. That is so much easier. We then proceed to murder hope our way through the whole region. Well, you get the point. We then make it to this stair enthusiast. And make short work of him. Finally we will raise the bridge, because we are going to need it shortly. You see, over the bridge and next to the stair enthusiast guy lives our next challenge. Meet our sub boss, Godskin Noble. The first try doesn't go overly great. Of course we wanted to die, because now we can properly enjoy this drawbridge. So let's experiment a little bit. The weapon skill Taker's Flames does a fair bit of damage, but the wind up animation is a bit too long for my liking for this fight. Rykard's Rancer does below average damage, I'd say. Let's try that again just to be sure. Not great, not terrible. A single melee attack does equal damage to Rykard's answer, so it seems like that's the way to go here. Now I say that, but after I get him below 50% health, the nobleman does this. I hate that skill so much. I think I put up quite a good fight. Eventually he gets me with the same attack again. But hey, look at the bridge side. I also discovered a major downside to Rykard's answer. It makes it really hard to see enemies attacks. I then die to whatever this is. No, I did manage to make Rykard's answer do more damage by guiding it more into the enemy. It's a bit of a high risk situation, but the damage ain't bad this way. In my 5th attempt I get him pretty low, but unfortunately I mess up at the end. So one more breach. And I still haven't learned how to dodge this attack. But I do get him on my 6th try. From here on, Rykard is just a small walk away, but we managed to get ourselves into this situation. Mishaps with Carnivorous machinery aside, we eventually make it to Rykard. This also marks the exact point where the challenge gets very hard. You see, Rykard is a gimmick fight. What that means is that he has a pool of lava around him. You step into that lava, you take damage. Constant damage. To combat that, you will want to use Serpent Hunter, a weapon specifically given to you at the beginning of Rykard's arena. Serpent Hunter has a ranged attack that counters Rykard's lava pool. We will not be using that. Let's see how it goes. The first thing to try is obviously Rykard's transfer, as it deals ranged damage and we don't need to step in the lava for that. We cast it twice and it does 599 damage. Let's bust out some math. Given that in a regular run Rykard has almost 60,000 health, and he probably has more in New Game Plus 2, we would need at least 200 casts to kill him. Given that we could only do around 50 casts if we only took FP flasks with us, it just seems like not the best strategy. But it was fairly obvious that hurting our giant lava serpent with a fire spell would be redundant. The weapon skill also does little damage, so it doesn't seem very useful either. So let's find out how hot that lava is. It actually doesn't do much damage, but it does very constant damage. And with my voice being very low, I get staggered after every hit. I do manage to dish out quite a bit of damage in a short time though. That is until the serpent has had enough. I make my mind up about the strategy I'm going to use. I'm going to try the toes in the lava melee strategy. It kinda works until it doesn't. On my 3rd try I get even farther, but I die again. Am I missing something? Is there something I could do? Oh yeah, I go get the hog. And I also upgrade my weapon to +10. With the upgraded weapon I almost get him. Then of course Rykard spins me to death. And it happens again. And each time I seem to do less damage to him. So let's try to find out what else we could improve on. Before the 8th run I take a hard look at both my talismans and armor. For talismans I try to maximize physical and fire resistance. And with armor I upgrade my poise from 14 to 32. This should in theory leave me less prone to staggers from the lava. Let's find out if it works. And just barely it works. Although the attack of the second animation does not finish, I still get the damage in. And then I finally did it. Eight tries. Oh right, he has a second phase and I almost instantly died. Okay, let's take a look at phase 2. First of all, we can voice break Rykard in both phase 1 and phase 2. Unfortunately, we can only do a little bit extra damage on Rykard's head. He has no critical attack point. Still, every bit of extra damage helps in this fight. Second of all, Rykard is a slimy bastard in phase 2. He keeps running away from me and I have to catch up to him. This kinda sucks, but we can work with it. The most important attack to know in phase 2 is this charging up attack, where he summons lots of skull spirits. If I were to stay in lava during the attack, it would be really dangerous, as when the lava staggers me and the skulls catch up to me, I get stun locked to death. So it's just best to run away for a while. At the end of this attack, Rykard sweeps down his sword in a large pattern. During this one, it's best to either run under him or very far away. And with that in mind, let's get back to drawing board. Armor wise, I tried a really heavy omen set that gave me 82 poise. It worked well for protection against staggers, but it came with two problems. First of all, it made my stamina regenerate slower, which meant I could do less attacks. And it made my rolls heavy, which made it hard to dodge attacks. Ultimately, I decided to go with the following setup. 51 poise and just under heavy load. Flame Drake Talisman to boost fire resistance. Godskin Cloak to restore HP on successive attacks. Rotten Winged Sword Insignia to boost attack power on successive attacks. And finally a Crimson Seed Talisman to get more out of my health flasks. The key here, as you can see, is survivability and making good use of the successive attacks that I can make on the Serpent. In addition to that, I made use of the Flask of Wondrous Physic. I used Crimson Wall Bubble Tear, which will heal by a little bit each time I receive damage, which was ideal in this scenario. It only lasted for 15 seconds, but every little bit counts here. So was all this worth it? Well... I kept dying. I died a lot. Oftentimes I will not make it to phase 2. In fact, I think I died more in phase 1 than in phase 2. Rykard is a battle of attrition. The fight is really long and it's not particularly hard even, but it takes so long that you will make some mistakes sooner or later. On my 48th attempt, I got Rykard further than ever before. He only had about a third of his health left, but I had run out of flasks. And eventually I died. But you know what? This was enough for me. I collected my runes, jumped back into the lava, beat some serpent around, beat the serpent out of the first phase. I ran away from flaming skulls. I did my absolute best. I knew it was possible now. I got serpent to around 10% health with 7 life flasks remaining. 6 remaining. And I kept backing. I even used his own skill against him. Wait, he was only playing dead? It seems like fire can kill him. So let's do it the old-fashioned way. finally, I did it. I had beaten Rykard. 49 tries it took me. At some points I didn't even think it was possible in New Game Plus 2. I sure as hell couldn't find any videos about it. But here we are, with Rykard dead, by his own weapon.